Hello, my name's Evan, and I saw the new Thunderbolts today. I want to talk about it. It's really interesting. Sit here. Will you do it? You will. I'm making some nuggets as well, so I'll be a tad distracted. And I want to let you guys know just really quickly before getting started. I'm going to talk about spoilers. Like I normally on my main channel I wouldn't spoil because I want as many people as possible to be able to watch the video. But this is my little diary. I yap about whatever the hell. So I do recommend before I get into spoiling, watch this movie. It's very good. However, Marvel's been putting out a lot of big old stinky, smelly, poopy shitties recently, and so understandably, you might be a little reluctant. And so I understand if you don't want to. Stick around for this, because I'll talk about all the important points. Oh, fuck. Oh, I messed it up. I'm a murderer. Anyway, I'm not a murderer for legal reasons. Not even for legal reasons. That's a joke. It's just a joke. I don't murder people. Anyway, Thunderbolts, really good movie. Honestly, I gotta say, one of the most enjoyable. I want to say most enjoyable of recent time, but really the bar's on the floor. But it really isn't though. See, someone asked me when I got out of Thunderbolts, like, is Marvel back? Is this the return of Marvel? And to be real, they're like, Marvel's been at like a lower point recently, but Marvel's never really been like on all the time. Think about it. Even in early Marvel, when we had like Iron Man and Captain America and Thor, and then Thor the Dark World, like Marvel was putting out poopers and shitters since its inception. But alongside that, we have things like Iron Man, Iron Man 2, I would say Iron Man 3. All three Iron Man movies were really good. Captain America, Winter Soldier is another outstanding movie. But you all know that. But the Thunderbolts is a really, really, really good movie. I really enjoy, and of course it's now called something different. It's called The New Avengers. Because by the end of the movie, this is spoiler, ooh, my god, ringing bells, spoilers are starting now. They get renamed because they become the New Avengers. They also have like little jokes. There's an after credit scene that is really good. But before I get to that, let's start with some of the more important things. Before this movie came out, people were like, Marvel was like, ooh, by the way, guys, the movie's going to start with a crazy surprise death that no one's going to expect. Meanwhile, the entire time of the cast of John Walker, so U.S. agent, Yelena Balloon, the other new Black Widow, Ghost from Ant-Man 2, Bob, or Sentry, and David Harbour's character, the Red Patriot or whatever, of all of them, Taskmaster is in zero of the promotional art. I mean, she's in the art. She's not in any of the videos, though. So who would you think is going to get their brains blown out seconds into the movie starting? Correct. Yes, Taskmaster dies instantly. Literally, in the first fight scene, they fight, and Taskmaster holds her own for a little bit. Really interesting. And then my dog had something. He wants to hear the movie. And then all of a sudden, someone teleports behind her, bullet through the brain, dead instantly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 nuggets. Here I say the peak number. Now come with me. But the movie itself is really good. I actually think the movie... So, you know how, like, movies will fall into this habit of, like, power of friendship saves the day type shit? And that can be, like, boring if not implemented properly. Now, I will warn you, the power of friendship, to a certain extent, saves this movie. However, the point of it is intentional. Because the whole idea is the Sentry, the bad guy, that he has this evil side that comes out that's run by his dark half. It's supposed to be, and it's supposed to be like a amplification or maybe like a personification of his depression. And so the whole idea of them being saved with friendship, because Yelena's like, hey, we actually really appreciate you and you're important to us, works. It actually works, and I find that really cool. They take a concept that movies have been essentially molesting for so long and turned it into something that I find genuinely interesting. Aside from that, what else? There's a scene where they get sucked into this area. It's called the Void. And it's supposed to be like each person gets their own special room that is like the worst regret or... My dog's just listening. He's intrigued. You should go watch the movie with me next time. He sat down. He just said... But it's like supposed to be generated areas within the void that are like your biggest regret, the thing that brings you the most agony in your brain. You know, it's your dark place. And in it, Yelena gets put into her place, and it happens to a certain extent, and then she finds Bob Sentry, who's like the one that is the reason this void even exists, and he helps him out. And then all of a sudden, later, the people realize they need to go into the void to save Yelena and Bob, and so the whole gang breaks in at the same time. And I really would have loved to have seen each of their dark rooms. I would have really loved to have seen what made them feel, like what made them tick, essentially. Because I don't really know Ghost Story that well, aside from what we learn in Ant-Man. And then David Harbour's character, we don't really know much of his story. We don't get much. He's a Captain America knockoff. Like, surely he has some sort of issues with that he wants to face. He's definitely like a happy-go-lucky character, probably the happiest of the group. But I want to see more of that. And then John Walker, of course, his struggle with his wife and his kids, leaving him because of his regret for how Captain America failed. I guess is delved into a little bit, but could have been more. But the one I'm the most disappointed about of all of them, Bucky. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, literally like the most like emotionally complex, emotionally like destroyed characters in the MCU, and they kind of play it off like a joke. They play it off like a bit. He comes into the room, and they're like, "How'd you find me?" And they're like, "We escaped our rooms." And then Bucky's like, "Yeah, because I had a really nice and peaceful past," or something like that. He makes a joke about his past being really peaceful, setting very sarcastically, and we all know that's not true. And I guess maybe you could argue, and the thing that I thought in the moment, like the way that I rationalized it was like, okay, he has spent movies and movies and movies and movies, like the entire franchise. He's been in every single franchise. Him and Loki are the only two characters that have been in all four phases of the MCU. So I guess maybe like he's had time to work through it. He's literally been shown going to therapy. He's been shown breaking through his Winter Soldier programming. Maybe the programming makes it so he doesn't even remember those eras of his life. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's why the rooms didn't work for him, and that's why he was able to break out. But I feel like they could have given more, especially since the movie focuses so much on that emotional toll and balancing depression with your life. It's balancing that void. I think it's genuinely really cool. I'm jumping up and down and shit. That's how freaking cool I think it is. But I'm glad the movie turned out how it did, though. Despite my gripes, this is just my complaints. I think the movie was shot. They use blocking. They use color grading. The movie looks beautiful. Every movement that happens in the movie feels like it has a purpose. Every action the characters take, there is a lot of build-up that makes it make sense. Like, despite the fact that the characters all have very intertwined backstories in past MCU projects, there's a lot of things that happen in the movie where they essentially disclose information to us, but it doesn't feel like they're forcing it down our throats. Like, so I was actually an assassin once and a part of this program, and this is what happened, and this is why this happened. When it's like, we don't care, we don't give a shit. What happens is, like, there is a thing that happens that forces someone to bring up something about their past to make that thing make sense. And I like that. I like when there's reason. I like when they don't treat the audience like morons, and they make us have to, like, put things together. I think that's nice. There is a little bit of, like, they do spoon feed a little bit of information, but it doesn't feel forced. It feels like part of the story. Like, there was one time where she's like, does anyone else have any crazy traumatic events to tell us? And then two people decide to tell people, or like decide to bring it up because she says that. And it's like, that's funny. But also, like, you get information about these characters that we wouldn't have had otherwise. I'll take that. That's pretty solid. But now, moving to the very end of my review, because I think that's really all I have to bring up. The after credit scene. There's one of them where it's just David Harbour's Red Patriot guy, I forget his name, in a store, and he's like on a box of cereal, and he's like, you want this box of cereal? And it's like, it's all funny. The bit's not as good. It's better if you watch it. But the after credit scene. So they're all in their new Avengers tower. There's some jokes about like copyright, and they're trying to copyright the name Avengers because Sam Wilson, the Falcon, the like new Captain America, is running his Avengers, and then we have the new Avengers, which is our group that we just had in this movie. And they're like, extra dimensional ship just appeared in the atmosphere, and they're like, extra dimensional, what the fuck does that mean? And my question is, how the robot know what that means? Anyways, oh shit, my nuggets are burning, aren't they? Oh, no, they're actually perfect. So let's finish this up real quick. They're like, extra dimensional ship in the atmosphere. And they're like, take a close look at it. And they zoom in, they enhance, and then they enhance. Because, of course, cameras can just do that, apparently. And then they see it. It is the ship that from the Fantastic Four, which means that, as my theory entails, I think the Fantastic Four movie that's going to be coming out with Pedro Pascal and the band is going to be taking place in a different dimension. and they're going to actually lose to Galactus and then swap dimensions to head to our MCU. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Overall, though, Thunderbolts, I would say I'm a very, like, I'm not a harsh grader. I'm going to give it like an 8.5, maybe even 9 out of 10 when it comes to recent Marvel productions, if not Marvel productions as a whole. Like, this is so I saw people rating this a top tier Avengers movie, because now it's called New Avengers, so it's an Avengers movie. And I don't hate it, because I feel like every character in that movie has the same amount of build-up that all the characters in the first Avengers movie had. So it feels like another first Avengers movie. And I think that's awesome. I think it's a great movie. Anyway, I'm going to skedaddle because this yap not only has horrible, speaking of color grading, the lighting in this room is horrendous. So I'm going to get out of here now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the movie if you watch it yourself, even though I spoiled everything. And I probably forgot some stuff, so keep an eye out. But maybe you can keep an eye out for some of the things I pointed out. Anyways, I had a splendid time playing some Star Wars Fortnite. I'm going to go have another splendid time gobbling down these 11 chicken nuggets that I just heated up. And, wait, first, my name's Evan. I'm going to throw this in the trash, and now bye.